Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right. We're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Almost 365 days had passed. A long time for anyone to wait for something, especially if you were two very excited kids. And on top of that, the thing you were waiting for just happened to be the coolest, most amazing, most incredible roller coaster the world had ever seen. Well, at least that's how Levi and Ivy felt. Every day since hearing about the addition of a new roller coaster to their favorite amusement park, they had been counting down the days. They figured out that it would be exactly 1 year until Lightning Bolt would be available for them to ride on. That's with no delays, no setbacks, and no crazy weather stopping construction. And lucky for them, not one thing got in the way of Lightning Bolt getting completed on time. The only thing left was getting their parents to take them to All-Star Amusement Park, which wouldn't be a problem since their dad loved giant pretzels! Exclaimed Levi and Ivy's dad. Did you say All-Star Amusement Park is debuting a new giant pretzel with the opening of the Light Thing roller coaster? The roller coaster is called Lightning Bolt. And yes, Dad, they will be offering a new giant pretzel called the Lightning Storm, said Levi. It'll be covered in cheddar cheese dust, spicy red pepper flakes, and garlic seasoning. And on the side, Lightning Storm dipping sauce. Oh, wow, sighed their dad, looking very hungry all of a sudden. I heard no one even knows what's in the special dipping sauce, but it's so good that people just get cups of it to drink, added Ivy. Oh, man, I need to get one of those Lightning Storm pretzels, whispered Levi and Ivy's dad to himself before saying out loud, do you two think you'd want to go to the amusement park tomorrow? And before he could even finish his sentence, Levi and Ivy knew their plan had worked. Absolutely, Dad, they said together before racing off to their playroom. I knew the new giant pretzel would work to get Dad to take us to the amusement park tomorrow, said Ivy, giving her brother a high five. Now, we just have to wait a little longer, and in no time, we'll be sitting in the lead car on the coolest, most amazing, most incredible roller coaster the world has ever seen, exclaimed Levi while sitting on the couch pretending he was on the roller coaster already. Ivy joined him, hopping onto the couch and throwing her hands in the air. They sat there pretending they were flying around the coaster track for what seemed like an hour, until their mom came in to tell them to get ready for bed. I heard you got your dad to take you to the amusement park tomorrow, said Levi and Ivy's mom with a little smirk. You told him all about a new giant pretzel, I heard. This wouldn't have anything to do with the new roller coaster, would it? The lightning bug? It's called Lightning Bolt, exclaimed Levi and Ivy, laughing. Why can't anyone remember the name? Asked Levi. It's Lightning Bolt, like a super fast flash of lightning in the middle of a crazy storm. Unpredictable and full of energy, added Ivy. Able to light up the sky with its amazing raw power. Wow, replied their mom. You two sound pretty excited for this new roller coaster. I hope it's everything you want it to be. Us too, whispered Levi and Ivy to each other with wide, excited eyes as they went upstairs to get ready for bed. The next morning could not have arrived soon enough. Levi and Ivy hopped out of their beds before their mom and dad and felt it would be best if they woke them up. But after being told that they needed to wait until the sun was actually up before starting their day, they got dressed, ate some cereal, and patiently waited in the living room for their dad. And lucky for Levi and Ivy, once their dad was awake, he couldn't go back to sleep because the thoughts of the new Lightning Storm pretzel were flying around in his head. And when he thought of the special dipping sauce, he couldn't keep still anymore. He hopped out of bed too, got dressed, and headed downstairs where he met up with Levi and Ivy. Come on, you two! Let's get to All-Star Amusement Park, said Levi and Ivy's dad with a big smile on his face. Awesome, but don't you want to have something for breakfast first? Asked Ivy. No way! I'm saving room for my Lightning Storm pretzel, of course, said her dad. Now let's go, or that pretzel line, I mean, your roller coaster line will be super long. Levi and Ivy passed the time in the car driving to All-Star Amusement Park, talking about how many times they would ride Lightning Bolt and how cool the ride would be. Then, before they knew it, they had arrived and were ready for a great day filled with thrilling roller coaster riding. However, they were all so excited about their big trip that none of them checked the weather, and when they got out of the car, it was... Hey friends, what do you think was happening? Can you yell it? It was raining. Rain? What? Exclaimed Levi. You don't think they'll close Lightning Bolt because there's a storm, do you? Asked Ivy, looking worried. I don't know, but wouldn't it be cool to ride this coaster in the rain? Asked Levi with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Kiddos, that is a decision for the people running the ride. Safety first, and if the track being wet makes the ride unsafe, you'll have to ride it another time, said Levi and Ivy's dad, trying to be encouraging. We can always go on some of the other smaller rides until the storm passes. It says on my phone the rain should only last for a few more hours. Levi and Ivy were obviously upset because even having their new favorite ride closed for a few hours would throw off their whole plan of riding it over and over and over again all day long. They tried to stay positive as they walked through the amusement park entrance and toward Lightning Bolt. What they saw next was something they didn't expect, and they didn't quite know how to feel. Just behind the giant sign that read Lightning Bolt Grand Opening stood the roller coaster itself. It looked even more impressive than they could have ever imagined. Wow, it's so much better looking in person than in the pictures we saw online, said Ivy in awe of the giant ride. I can't wait to get on it, added Levi as they raced toward the ride line. Since it's not closed, let's get in line, quick. Levi and Ivy's dad followed behind them and unfortunately saw his kids' big smiles turn into big frowns right as they approached the ride platform. A worker from the amusement park walked over and put up the temporarily closed sign. Sorry, everyone. We heard there's a lightning storm in the area and we have to close the ride until the storm passes, said the worker. And as he said that, a flash of lightning raced across the sky right behind the roller coaster. Wow. Well, what are the chances that the first day that the lightning bolt is open, there'd be a big lightning storm? Asked Levi. I guess pretty good, said a very disappointed Ivy. The amusement park worker then gave everyone a ticket that marked where they were in line and told them to come back when the ride reopened for the day. Levi and Ivy reluctantly took their tickets and ran between the raindrops to a small tented area with their dad. How about we, have a little snack while we wait for the storm to pass, he suggested. Wanting at least one of them to get what they came to All-Star Amusement Park for, Levi and Ivy happily waited while their dad got a giant lightning storm pretzel with the special dipping sauce. He returned with a look of pure joy on his face. He had already taken a nibble of the giant pretzel and couldn't stop raving about it. And after he tried the dipping sauce, he was speechless. Do you kids want some? He asked, happy to share. No, thanks. I don't feel much like eating, replied Levi. I'm good too, but thanks, said Ivy. Okay, suit yourselves. But this is amazing. Best pretzel I've ever had, said their dad. Levi and Ivy both yawned as their dad went on and on about the flavor, the texture, and overall awesomeness of the giant pretzel. Then, after all the excitement of riding Lightning Bolt had faded because of the storm, along with them both waking up super early that morning, Levi and Ivy were very tired. They decided to take a little nap while they waited for the roller coaster to reopen. I bet when we wake up, the storm will be all over. Then we'll feel refreshed and ready to ride Lightning Bolt for the rest of the day, yawned Levi. You're totally right. Great idea, yawned Ivy back to her brother before they both laid their heads down on the table in front of them and fell asleep. It felt like only a few seconds had passed when they both woke up. The sky was full of sunshine and they couldn't wait to jump back in line to ride Lightning Bolt. However, when they looked for their ride tickets, they were nowhere to be found. They searched around frantically until Ivy looked around and tapped Levi on the shoulder. Hey, Levi, there's no one here, said Ivy, sounding a bit confused. When Levi looked up, he discovered his sister was telling the truth. The only other person they saw was the ride operator for the lightning bolt roller coaster. So they ran over to the ride, ready to hop on. Hi there, welcome to Lightning Bolt, the coolest, most amazing, most incredible roller coaster the world has ever seen, said the ride operator as he opened the small gate to the ride platform and asked Levi and Ivy to step forward. We've been waiting for you. Waiting for us? Asked Levi. And who's we? Asked Ivy. You're the only other person here. The only other person here? Yes, but not the only other thing, said the ride operator. Just look. And as he motioned to the roller coaster platform, a shiny new roller coaster car rolled toward them. But this was no ordinary roller coaster car. It was Lightning Bolt. That's right. I mean, a lightning bolt that talked and moved. The roller coaster car was alive. Hi there, said the Lightning Bolt roller coaster car. My name is Lenny. So happy to finally have you here, Levi and Ivy. I'm so excited to take you on my new ride. It's absolutely amazing. You'll just love it. Then the giant lightning bolt roller coaster car asked Levi and Ivy to hop in, buckle up, and get ready for the ride of their lives. Levi and Ivy couldn't pass up this amazing opportunity and jumped at the chance to finally ride the new roller coaster. Even though it was a bit of a different experience than they thought it would have been. Did you see anything in the write-ups about this ride, that it was animated and talked? Asked Levi to Ivy. I didn't see anything about any of this, said Ivy, but it sure is cool. How are you both doing? Asked Lenny. Are we ready to go? Levi and Ivy didn't waste even a second and quickly let Lenny know they were good to go by shouting out an excited, hey friends, can you say it with me? Yes! The ride operator made sure their lap bars and seatbelts were fastened securely, then walked over to the control panel. On the count of 3, you two will be the first kids to ride this roller coaster. Isn't that cool? Said the ride operator. And since you're Lightning Bolt's biggest fans, we know you're the right ones to take the test spin. We're so excited, shouted Ivy before fully hearing what the ride operator said. Wait a minute, said Levi. Excuse me, did you say test spin? Like we're the first people ever to ride this roller coaster? You've got it. Now have a great time, and here we go, shouted the ride operator over the roar of the roller coaster, revving up. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, Levi and Ivy were off, zooming toward a giant incline that would take them up to the highest point on the roller coaster. They climbed up the steep hill, rattling along the tracks beneath them for what seemed like a really long time until they heard Lenny say, Are you two ready for a big drop? You're gonna love it. I guess we have to be ready, said Levi to Ivy. Here, hold my hand. I know this will be amazing. I'm so happy we get to do this together. Me too, replied Ivy, now getting more and more excited. Here we go, called out Lenny as it started to make its way over the top of the giant hill. At this point, Levi and Ivy were looking straight down at the ground when in an instant, Lenny took off. But the roller coaster car didn't go where you think it would go. You see, instead of racing down the track in front of them, the roller coaster raced forward, leaving the roller coaster all together and flying through the sky. It took Levi and Ivy a few seconds to realize what was happening, but when they did, they couldn't believe their eyes, and they didn't want the ride to end. Oh my gosh, I didn't read anything about this happening during the ride, shouted Levi over the loud roar of wind screaming past them as they zoomed through the sky. It feels like we're a real lightning bolt, called out Ivy. A true force of nature, not just an amusement park ride. That's because we are, called back Lenny. Well, sort of anyways. I'm still a roller coaster car, but I'm moving just like a real lightning bolt. You know, unpredictable and full of energy. Ivy remembered describing the roller coaster ride just like that to her mom. And she was so glad she was right because this ride was unlike anything either her or Levi had ever experienced. It was amazing. Levi and Ivy raised their arms in the air and enjoyed every twist, turn, dip, loop, and fast acceleration as Lenny flew around the sky, lighting up the world below as they went. The blazingly bright light washed out the sky before them, making Levi and Ivy feel like they were flying into a dream world. Then the light would fade, and they would find themselves zooming past clouds as they raced through the sky above All-Star Amusement Park. "Sorry to say, friends, but we're coming to the end of our ride," announced Lenny, much to Levi and Ivy's disappointment. "Oh no, can we go around one more time? Please?" called out the kids. "Sorry to say we can't," replied Lenny as the roller coaster made its way back toward the ride platform. "You two will be waking up soon and need to jump back in line to ride the roller coaster for real this time." "Wake up? Ride for real?" said Levi. "What do you mean?" called out Ivy as they came to a sudden stop at the ride platform. Once they were back, the ride operator lifted their safety bars and asked them to hop out. "Don't look so sad. I'll see you soon," called out Lenny. And before they both knew it, Levi and Ivy heard their dad's voice. "Hey, kiddos, babies, the rain stopped. Grab your tickets and head back to the roller coaster," said Levi and Ivy's dad, sitting in front of 2 empty giant pretzel bags. "What? I got hungry again while you were sleeping." Levi and Ivy looked at each other, both with the same questions running through their heads. However, they didn't have any time to waste and would talk about it later. Then, without wasting any more time, they grabbed their ride tickets and ran back to Lightning Bolt. There, the ride operator looked at their tickets and happily loaded them in the front car. "Hi there, welcome to Lightning Bolt, the coolest, most amazing, most incredible roller coaster the world has ever seen," said the ride operator as he opened the small gate to the ride platform and asked Levi and Ivy to step forward. "We've been waiting for you." "Waiting for us?" said Levi and Ivy with wide eyes. "Oh, yeah, it's just something I say to make the experience a little more special," said the ride operator with a little giggle. "I haven't actually been wondering where you are or anything like that. Get your seatbelts on and I hope you have a great ride." Oh, okay, said Levi, looking at Ivy. And as they hopped in the front car, they looked at it very closely. It wasn't moving, it wasn't talking, and it looked very attached to the roller coaster tracks. "Was that all a dream?" whispered Ivy to Levi as they put on their seatbelts. "It must have been," replied Levi. "Okay, you two, this is Lightning Bolt's test spin, so we're going to go around twice. Does that sound good?" asked the ride operator. "Test spin?" exclaimed Levi and Ivy together. "Yep, you're going to love it. I just know it. Now let's make sure your lap bars are tight. They look good," said the ride operator. And just before he walked over to the control panel to start the Lightning Bolt's roller coaster's first ride in All-Star Amusement Park, Levi noticed his name tag. His eyes got wide and he pointed it out to Ivy, who had the same reaction as her brother. "Excuse me?" said Levi. "What's your name?" "Why, it's Lenny, of course," said the ride operator with a smile and a glimmer in his eye. "Have fun, Levi and Ivy." And with a quick countdown of 3, off they flew on the roller coaster ride of a lifetime. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun Lively Lewis story with you.